Welcome to the YouTube News Network, the greatest source of news on all of YouTube. And I know you'll love us because, as our slogan says, we may not be great, but at least we're not Fox. Now let's get right into the news. Let's start off with some video game news. This just in, the company From Software has recently announced a new DLC for their game Elden Ring. This should be pretty exciting for those of you who are fans of the game, because the DLC is set to come out this summer, cost just under $50, and feature a menagerie of interesting add-ons such as new bosses, perhaps new items, and maybe even some new story components. We'll have to wait and see for that. Speaking of video games, as of this year, a tech company has released a new product that utilizes AI. As if there weren't a million tech companies doing that already. Anyways, I digress. This new product, dubbed the GameSense, will allow you to smell video games and media as if you're actually there. It uses AI to detect what's on screen, and there are several different scents such as gunpowder, sweat, motor oil, as well as many other combinations. Pretty cool, right? Except it's really not. According to customers who've used this product, the smells are not accurate or relevant to what's going on screen. People end up coming out of a play session smelling like synthetic oil and gunpowder and end up needing a shower based off how gross, strong, and downright disgusting that they smell. Needless to say, regardless of what your hobbies are, movies, shows, video games, I would not recommend buying this product even though I've never used it. Speaking of needing a shower though, let's move on to our health and wellness segment. And for this episode specifically, this functions more as a PSA. Breaking news! Apparently men do not know how to shower. A recent study showed that men do not wash between the cheeks. That's right. Also men, come on, that's disgusting. And if you're sitting at home thinking, well, I know how to wash my rear, you're probably wrong because you gotta really get in there, dude. Like really. Along with that, make sure you never use a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner because that is overall very lackluster and it ends up not giving your hair the full effect of either an individual shampoo or individual conditioner. Make sure you use 2 separate ones and wash your bum. Now, next up, big companies really screwed up after a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by my Twitch account. Check it out right there, or right there, or right up to the right there. I'm gonna put it there in post. I don't have to worry about it now, but check out my Twitch account. It's where I play video games. I'm currently playing Elden Ring, and if you want to watch me get angry when I die in a video game a million times, go watch it right now. My username is right there. Also, they're all right there. Go watch it. Go watch it right now. Now, get ready for our actual next segment. Now time for our corporate screw-up section. The new Dune movie has come out, and their popcorn buckets are, well, suggestive to say the least. You can see one right here. As you can see, I'm not so sure that popcorn is the only salty thing that they intend to be put into these unique buckets. The bucket meant to resemble the movie Sandworm has recently come out throughout theaters as a novelty popcorn bucket. What was meant to be a fun, silly novelty item has now become a stupid joke throughout the internet as people discuss whether or not they'd like to put their Sandworm into these Sandworm-themed buckets. Well, anyways, I know I'll have to go see that movie and maybe get one of those popcorn buckets. Another way that a large company has royally screwed themselves is Kellogg's. You know, the cereal company? Recently, people are outraged as a multi-million-dollar cereal company, Kellogg's, has suggested that you try eating cereal for dinner to save money. How ridiculous is that? Not the eating cereal for dinner part, but the fact that it's a multi-million-dollar cereal company that's suggesting we do it to save money. They were completely serious as well. They might as well say let them eat cake, if you know what I mean. Anyways, that's enough corporate irony for me. Now it's time for our Flash segment! Today's Flash segment question: how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? This is an age-old question, and let's ask some people.
Could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
But they can't.
But what if they did, though?
They don't chuck wood.
But what if they could?
At least 10.
How much would it chuck, huh?
10 chucks?
Well, that was interesting, although non-conclusive. It was pretty expected. Here's the weather if you live in the US. If you don't live in the US, Google the weather. Now, apparently, some places in the US are considering a 4-day work week as being the new norm. This was after a study group in Europe tried the shortened week, and it worked incredibly well, with nearly 100% approval rating across the board. Not only workers, but also upper management, as happier and more well-rested workers work more efficiently. On more political-related news, a different subject, Mitch McConnell is retiring, and not a day too early if you ask me. He probably should have retired several years ago. Mitch McConnell is a well-known member of the Senate who has announced his retirement after he literally froze up, after a speech. In my opinion, this man is too old to be in charge of anything. He also looks like a turtle, so yeah, definitely shouldn't be in charge anymore. Now out with that, in with a much lighter subject, our featured show. Today our featured show is Breaking Bad, and its spin-off Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad is a show so amazing that the fact that it's amazing has become a borderline meme online. This show revolves around a man trying to pay for his cancer treatment by committing to a life of crime. Although that sounds bleak, the show is full of fun and interesting characters that develop as the story continues. The show Better Call Saul follows a criminal lawyer with similar themes. However, he's a criminal defense lawyer, but he's also kind of a criminal guy. He's unorthodox tactics to get people out of their sentence. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are both amazing shows that I highly suggest that you watch. Now, that about sums up the YouTube news today. Make sure you check out my Twitch, as well as there will be a stream later today. If you're watching this on Monday, so this is filmed on Monday of whatever month this is, and make sure you check out my Twitch, and if I'm not streaming today, then I'll be streaming a different day, depending on when you're watching this. Anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you do not miss anything relevant or anything cool as we cover all of that on YouTube News. This is News Anchor Frederick, signing off.
Okay, if you watch till the end of the video, you get a little fun treat. Gross stuff warning. A deer died and then fell in my pond, or it fell in the pond and then died, and that's the deer, and there have been turtles sleeping on it all day. It's really gross. Yeah, that's why I said gross stuff warning. Thanks for watching the end. Make sure to follow and subscribe, and I'll have these at least once a week.